During my healing meditation, after clearing waves of unconscious energy is a kind of energy that induces drowsiness and dissociation, a state in which programming, thought forms, and other people's energy become dominant forces driving a person's reactions. I saw two parallel galaxies appear in my third eye. They intersected, and in the middle, where interaction, communication, and evaluation happen, one galaxy's energy gradually took over, absorbing certain information, certain energy, from the other, emerging as a new galaxy that moved forward. I suddenly understood what I was witnessing. The person I was working on had just made a new choice about the future. And I assume that is how major choices are made in life. Not simply picking one option out of many, but many probabilities and possible timelines interacting, communicating massive, complicated soul information that our minds simply cannot track, generating a new timeline that best supports our soul's desired experiences in the current incarnation. It was a fascinating and romantic inner experience. This kind of experience does not resolve the difficulties of daily life or transcend mundane struggles, yet this expansion connects me with something the mind cannot reach, a support, a hope, and a beauty that weaves in any life experience. In these life-changing decisions, our mind and intellectual analysis play a very small part of decision-making. The perception that we, as our ego, our intellectual mind, collect information, evaluate options, and make the most beneficial or wisest decision for our future is itself an illusion. Behind one thought, there are dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of conflicting thoughts and emotions that we can't track. They are carefully and wholesomely considered, weighed by our soul, in multidimensional decision-making. I feel a synchronicity in this inner experience. With the Taurus New Moon conjunct Mercury in Taurus, conjunct Uranus in early Gemini, there is a new timeline emerging, significant choices being made individually and collectively, in both the realm of the intellectual mind and deep unconsciousness. While the mind only plays a small part of actual decision-making, it is never insignificant. It is the part through which we consciously take responsibility for our actions. With the new moon conjunct Uranus, many people may start to become conscious of a new kind of communication on an individual level and with collective energy. On an individual level, our own probable timelines are sharing information, our past, present, and future in communication. Then we take in our individual probabilities and choices, constantly communicating with other souls, groups, and the collective as a whole, exploring and shaping a probable global future. Revisiting, reevaluating, and adjusting are constantly made subtly or drastically during this process. The individual future floats within many as yet undetermined collective timelines. You can still plan for the future, but a future with absolute certainty cannot be genuinely formed in the present moment. On the May 16th Taurus New Moon, Mars forms an exact conjunction with Chiron. Anger, fear, the despair and pain beneath them remain the energy backdrop for both the collective and individuals, manifesting in each person's life in different forms and with various levels of intensity. With Pluto retrograde, this pain often originates from unprocessed emotional energy from past growth phases. Perhaps many people are living in extreme pain right now, not knowing how they can possibly survive another trauma and move on into the future. What can hold such pain, I thought, is the life force and nourishing power of the earth, which witnesses creation and destruction, beauty and cruelty, human history stuck in repeating cycles in some phases and leaping forward in others, an objectivity, a support, a spacious stillness and grounded power sustaining every soul incarnated. The archetype of Taurus correlates to the earth's life force, in our bodies, within every cell, transmuting pain through the force of life. In the light of the new moon's conjunction with Mercury and Uranus, when you are living with pain or intensity, you may also have a more direct experience, that a future timeline is interacting with you, and your current, wiser self is sending healing and communicating new perspective to your past self, so it can move on from stuck pain. Not as information the mind perceives to create a false sense of security, but as an inner, intuitive experience. And in that, you can move through the process of healing while also recognizing other aspects of life. It does not dilute the pain, but your perception of life is no longer dictated by pain. If this resonates, I invite you to explore my evolutionary astrology readings and energy healing sessions at www.BloodmoonAstrology.com.